I wonder if you might have some unique advice for this season. A lot of us are preaching. Maybe we're used to preaching to rooms and we're preaching to cameras.
Yeah.
And I know that part of your experience was moving to radio and to television. And while there was often still, I know you're still communicating to a room, there's new dynamics. And I just wonder if there's any wisdom that you might pass on that you haven't mentioned yet.
Yes, I find it hard speaking to a camera as opposed to people. And I think all of us do. In communication, there are two things going on. There's what you're saying and there's what people are hearing. And what people are hearing is conditioned by a multitude of things. It's conditioned by what they already know. For instance, you might be adding to something. You might be so different in what they're hearing, they have no foundation to connect it to. So it just goes over their heads. But also there's their experience of life. And people have been through tough times, have been through sadnesses, have been through joys. And when you're with people, you can read, you learn to read what is going on. I also made it an intentional thing in thinking about when I'm preparing, that I don't speak to a crowd, I speak to individuals. I personally would never say things like, good morning, church, because it's a big group. You're just lumping everybody into one big group. I would say good morning. And it's to you, you know, it's hopefully connecting with the individual. So I'm more inclined to say you than we all kind of thing. I mean, there are those times, but I used to select somebody in the congregation. This is years ago. Somebody sitting over, get up there, look around. Okay, there's a guy up there who's you know, I'm going to pick on. Not to talk to them, but to think they're listening to me. Am I making sense? Connect with their responses. And now, I don't do that to an individual now. I haven't done for years, but I found it helpful to do that. But ultimately, you know, it's individuals that are responding to God, and it's an individual thing, not a group thing. So when you're talking in a camera, you can't read that second part of the communication, the receptive element. You've got to just, and of course, what we did on television and radio was taken from our main services. So it wasn't, usually it wasn't specific to that.